guys having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I'll give you guys a second to come into the live stream, into the conversation. While you guys come into the conversation, I'm gonna send a text message out to the family and let the family know that we are live right now, that we're live and kicking and doing the damn thing. Let's see here. So as you come in, I guess I'll start with the topic in terms of what we're going to discuss very quickly. It's not going to be a long live stream, but it's going to be an important one. We just lost somebody from the hip hop community that was very, very, very respected, that was known by a lot of people, and the whole world's kind of talking about it right now. His name was Bushwick Bill. And Bushwick Bill was a member of the iconic group called the Ghetto Boys. Now, you guys know we have our ritual. We know that this is the home for intelligent Black people. So we always take the conversations that are going on in the community and elevate those conversations. And so, you know me, I'm not going to just give you the basics. I'm going to give you a little bit deeper on that, because I think there's a lot of deep implications to just a lot of things. When we talk about hip hop is probably one of the most interesting scholarly topics known to man, because hip hop it's transcended the world. It's represented quite a bit. It's represented tremendous power and some progress in every area, from economics to politics to sociology to gender roles, feminism. Like you could just name it. Hip hop is kind of everywhere, and so. The interesting thing about it is that Bushwick Bill was part of that, that legendary journey. He was part of that legendary, growth of an industry that really came out of our community that we should have owned. We should have been making all the money from hip hop, or at least 90% of it. But instead, we ended up getting that 5%. We became 5%ers in terms of how much money we got out of the hip hop industry, which was ridiculous. Do me a favor as we get started. Shout out your city, or your business. If you want to do both, please feel free to do both. Shout out your city, and then separately, if you want, you can shout out your business. Just shout yourself out so everybody knows you're here. I want to make sure you know that you're heard. I want you to know that you're loved. Also, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do that right now. That's very, very important. Please hit the thumbs up button. And while you guys do that, I'm gonna make sure everybody gets invited in to the live stream on Blag Enough. Blag Enough is our social media platform. That's our plan B to deal with the tyranny of Facebook. And I'll write it on a piece of paper so you can spell it. But if you are a member of Blag Enough, shout that out too, and let everybody know how you feel about it and how it's going for you and stuff like that. Just so you know, with Blag Enough, we're going to make some additions to the platform very soon, as per your suggestions and your thoughts. We're going to dig a little deeper and make it even more user friendly than it is. And a lot of this because we're trying to get away from Facebook. Facebook bans Black people on a regular basis. It's a very racist platform. They ban Black people and conservatives. Those tend to be the two groups that they've been. So pretty much anybody who's not liberal, anybody who's not a liberal Democrat or whatever. So that's what they love to do. But anyway, okay. So I see Oakland. I see the Motor City. Herb Chillis, is that Chef Herb? Is that right? Oakland, California, Ohio. Bruh, rest, sir. You served us all well. Yes, I agree. I think Bushwick was just one of those guys that, he was. You can't forget him. That's for damn sure. Bushwick was. He happened to be a dwarf. He was born in Jamaica, and he suffered from dwarfism. He's about 3'8" tall. But he was a gangster. He was the little gangster. The guy that really got people's attention. He was the guy that really was a vital member of the Ghetto Boys. He was a guy that you just knew who he was. I remember when anybody. How many of you in here are old enough to remember, like, really appreciating the Ghetto Boys growing up? Or, either you were younger or older or whatever. How many of you were fans of the Ghetto Boys? Raise your hands. Raise your hands if you feel like, if you could say I was a straight legit fan of the Ghetto Boys, and I knew, you follow Willie D, Scarface, all these characters. Okay, so I see Asia says yes. Champ, okay, 76 Rain. All right, my mind's playing tricks on me. I love it. Yeah. Eldridge, okay, Eldridge, Nurse Armstrong. Yeah, I was a fan. I was a fan of the Ghetto Boys. And you know, and the thing was, like, I remember them. I remember when they came out, and the thing is, you know, you guys know Willie D. You know, Willie D's a friend of mine, and I talked to Willie D last night, and in a second I'll tell you guys what he had to say about all of this in a minute. But you know, it was funny when I met him. You know, he came to my event in Houston, and I guess he was a fan of mine, and you know, came to show love and support. We were there for he was there about 3 hours. It was a very long event because I gave a very long lecture on economics and everything, and it mixed with Black Power. We talked about a lot of things, and it was really cool for me because, you know, it's like, you know, he's a fan of mine, but I was a big, you know, huge fan of his. I was like, wow, the Ghetto Boys. I love the Ghetto Boys, you know, and what I like about the group is, you know, Willie D actually was kind of in my opinion, I feel like Willie D was kind of the mastermind behind it all, in terms of the guy who said, let's all get together and make this group, and here's what we can do, and here's what your role is going to be, here's what your role is going to be. It reminds me of the Temptations. I went to see a play called Ain't Too Proud in New York this week that talks about the story of the Temptations. They actually performed last night on the Tony Awards. And just like the Ghetto Boys, the Temptations kind of had one guy. I don't have his name in front of me, but they had one guy who kind of brought the Temptations together, who saw the vision, who brought these guys together and said, let's work together and do something amazing. And I see that as a great metaphor for Black-owned businesses. You know, if you have people that are, you know, in your community that are intelligent, I agree, Willie is intelligent. You know, if you have people around you that have skill and capability, a lot of times there's like one or two visionaries that can, you know, corral those people and say, okay, you're doing your thing and it's great. You're doing your thing and it's great. I'm doing my thing. But how about we all get together and complement each other and form a team? You know, when you form a team, then you might get to a point where you really can't be stopped. You know, and the Ghetto Boys are like that. I mean, you know, solo wise, Willie D was great. Solo wise, Bushwick was great. Solo wise, Scarface was great. But when they were together, it was almost like the Avengers, like the Black Avengers, because you had these three brands, these three characters that were created. You know, like Willie D. I think Willie D's. I just call him Willie D. I think it's Willie Dennis. Is that his last name? But anyway, you know, you have Willie D. Well, that wasn't his actual name. That was his, you know, his stage name. Bushwick Bill. That's not Bushwick Bill. Bushwick Bill is not his real name. Bushwick Bill's real name, I'm going to dig this up. I should have this in front of me. In fact, let me pull up his Wikipedia page, because I don't want to call him Bushwick Bill only. He deserves something better than that. So let me give you Bushwick Bill's real name. Some of y'all may be super fans and y'all may know his real name. His name is Richard Stephen Shaw. Richard Stephen Shaw. He was born in Jamaica, from what I understand, in Kingston. In 1966, his father was a merchant marine and his mother was a maid. He was born with dwarfism, and he's listed as 3'8" tall. So you know, I think it's really, I mean, for those of you out here who are really trying to do something, you know what I mean? Like if you're trying to build a business or whatever, you know, and you are that person who has that vision to see, you know, that the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. You know, this is an example of how you can do something great. You know, it's again, like with the Temptations, you know, the Temptations, that as a brand is greater than any particular individual Temptation. Even Eddie Ruffin, as great as he was, you know, can't outdo the Temptations, right? You look at him. My cousin is in a group, the legendary, the greatest female group of all time, in my opinion, one of the greatest. TLC, not the greatest. I guess you could. You got Supremes, Destiny's Child. You got some other great groups out there, right? But you know, TLC's up there, right? Top five for sure. Top five for sure. And my cousin's Tiana Watkins, T-Boz. And our grandfathers are brothers. In case you ever ask her and she tries to act like we ain't related, no, her grandfather's name is Sam. My grandfather's name is Matt. Matt and Sam are brothers. But anyway, you know, that group being brought together, New Edition being brought together, you know, greater than, you know, as great as Ralph Transvant was, as great as Johnny Gill was, as great as Bobby Brown was, they were greatest as a group. And they realized that as they got older. You see, when you're young, egos, you know, are a big deal. You know, egos kick in, like, oh, well, I don't need nobody. I can do this by myself. When I go on stage, people scream, you know, and that's what happens, right? People get, they get a little bit of fame, a little bit of success. They get out here and they're like, oh, look at me, look at me. I've even seen it with people that get little YouTube channels. They got about 5,000 people following them, and they start feeling like the whole world loves them. You start feeling yourself. Next thing you know, the minute you start feeling yourself is the minute you start killing yourself. You know, the minute you start feeling yourself is the minute you start killing yourself. because you start feeling yourself so much, you end up becoming a person that thinks you can survive as an island. You start thinking you could do it all by yourself. Like the old African proverb says, though, the old African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Right? So if you look at the Temptations, for example, I did not know this. I was stunned when I went to the play. The Temptations have had, I think, about 43 or 44 different members over the years. And the Temptations will live on long after all the original members have died. Right? The Temptations is pretty much any 4, 5, 6 guys they put on the stage. That's dope. That's brilliant. 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 That's what I'm talking about for Black people, right? That's the number one thing I teach y'all is you need institutions. You don't need super Negroes. When you get super Negroes, I'm going to live forever. I'm the greatest. I'm the one who's carrying all this. I'm the number one, most sought after. I'm the greatest. I'm the top. I'm the leader. This group does not survive without me. You can't make it without me because I was a gift from God. When you get that kind of shit, that's when you get something that's definitely going to die. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. Last I checked, Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated. So eventually you're going to grow old and you're going to die. And everything that you have carrying on your back is going to die with you. That don't just go for groups, it goes for your Black business. If you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a plan for succession, where you can pass everything that you know on to your children, then everything's going to die. You can't run a relay race by yourself. You can't run a relay race by yourself. Not possible. I watched the NCAA championships this week. I love track and field, and I did not see one relay team that won the race with one person. I did not. No matter how fast that person, they got a little girl at LSU, a little freshman, just broke the NCAA record, ran one of the fastest times in the history of this earth, 3/100ths of a second off the winning time in the Olympics. And even she, Shakara Richardson or something like that, even she could not run the relay race by herself. And even when she ran it, she still wasn't able to win because her teammates were able to get her to the front of the pack. So my point is to say that overall, somebody's saying Bushwick is not dead. Well, if he ain't dead, then I'd be stunned because every media outlet I'm reading now, Yahoo News, a lot of these legit outlets are saying that he's gone. What I understand from yesterday was that Bushwick wasn't totally dead, but he was on life support. He was on a machine basically where they were keeping him alive until his family could get there to say goodbye. And so he ended up dying, if I'm not mistaken, last night. All the media outlets are reporting he died a couple of hours ago as of the time of the recording of this video. So that's what it is. You've been watching a little girl from LSU. Yeah, whew, she's nice to watch. It's great. I'm just a big track and field fan. Y'all gotta forgive me. That's my favorite sport. I used to be captain of my track team in high school. By the way, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And so anyway. So let me kind of give you guys a couple of thoughts in terms of so I hope we're in agreement. Black people, please confirm to me this. Tell me yes or no if you agree with me on this. We do better as Black people. We build better as Black people when we work together. Can you please confirm that for me? That we will do better when we work together, because when we work together, we can build institutions. When we work together, we can do things that last forever. I'm gonna say this. We think about the Ghetto Boys, and I talked to Willie D and I talked about this last night. Because he called me 2 days ago, and I don't even know why he called me. I called him back. I said, "Hey man, I saw you called me yesterday." And I said, "What was going on?" He said, "Man, I can't even remember." He said, "Sometimes I just have an idea and I just call you and I forget what it is." So we don't even remember what it was that we called, but we're friends, so we like to talk for a little bit because he's a very smart guy, very intelligent guy. Like you can see why he was one of the leaders of that group. And one thing that we discussed was, I said, in my opinion, I said, the Ghetto Boys last forever. I think I saw a statement. I think somebody did say something. It made me sad. I think one of Bushwick's children said there is no Ghetto Boys without Bushwick Bill. And I felt that that was a little bit of an unfortunate statement, because yes or no, tell me if you get what I'm saying. Bushwick was amazing, but the Ghetto, Scarface was unbelievable. Willie D was unbelievable. I mean, these guys were all great. So to me, the Ghetto Boys goes on forever as long as the brand is alive. I mean, and if you found talented enough people, maybe you could replace even Scarface and Willie D over time. Like, I think the Ghetto Boys as a brand is a $100 million, multi-million-dollar brand that can last forever. That can, you can literally take that brand and you can put it on shirts. You can do, Ghetto Boys concerts. Maybe even after they're gone, people will get used to holographic technology. They'll do a holograph concert. I don't think holograph technology is scary. Some people think it's like the devil. I thought it was cool. When they brought Tupac back, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I wish that they had done that more. I don't know why people have an issue with holograms. I think it's awesome. But then again, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm the weirdo. But either way, though, there's a lot you can do with a brand, because all a brand really is it's an idea. Brands live up here. Brands live up here. Like, it's like, let's say I went to Harvard University and I said, I don't want the brand of Harvard University to ever exist anymore. I don't want Harvard to even be a thing anymore. So I'm gonna burn down every damn building on this campus. Every building on this campus. In fact, I'm gonna drop a bomb right in the middle of Harvard's campus, and kaboom, is gonna blow up everything within a 50-mile radius. Right? Let's say that I did. Let's say that I wanted to. Not that I would. I want to make sure that none of the social media censors pick up on this and think that I'm trying to be a terrorist or that I'm encouraging violence. I'm not encouraging anybody to do this. I have to say these things because Facebook will ban your ass just for looking at them funny, right? Facebook loves to ban black people. So I'm not saying that at all. But if somebody did that and they eliminated and they blew up the entire Harvard University, let's say Harvard was just gone and they burned down every single building, would that mean that Harvard University was gone? Yes or no? Yes or no? Would Harvard University be gone, or would it still be here? What do you say? Right. No, absolutely not. Harvard will live forever, as long as it lives in the minds of the people that are connected to that idea. Harvard is a symbol. The buildings are merely a manifestation of an ideology, right? That's what branding is. Coca-Cola is a concept, right? You can put any kind of soda in that can, but if you don't put Coca-Cola on the label, then the value drops by billions of dollars. There are brands of things that don't even have any sort of physical manifestation at all. Facebook is a website. It's just a website connected to this image, right? Mickey Mouse is probably worth over $1 billion. Mickey Mouse is a little mouse that Walt Disney came up with after he got fired from his job and was depressed and sitting on the train. This is if you want inspiration for your ass, let me give you some inspiration for your ass. Walt Disney used to be a cartoonist. He used to go out. He used to do like Negroes do, like a lot of us do, looking for jobs. And he had this great job with this company drawing these cartoons or whatever. And they called him from California to New York. And back then, a trip from California to New York was a big deal. You'd be on that train for a couple of weeks. So he got on the train to go to New York. He's excited. He's thinking, this is my big day, my big promotion. They're going to finally give me, I'm finally going to get what's coming to me. I'm finally going to get bosses, finally going to help me out, make me a big shot. And he goes to New York. And instead of giving him a raise and a promotion, they actually fired him. And not only did they fire him, but they took ownership of all of his intellectual property. Because back then, if you drew cartoons for a company, they owned the cartoons. So not only did he lose his job, but he lost everything that he'd created up to that point. So Walt Disney is on the train going back home to California, long train ride. He's really sad and depressed. So he wakes up after a nap and he's thinking about, well, what am I going to do next? So he says to his mother, he says, I think I'm going to create a new character and it's going to be a mouse. And she says, well, what are you going to name the mouse? And he said, I'm thinking Mortimer Mouse. And his mother says, no, that's too hard to say. Just call him Mickey. And boom, that's where Mickey Mouse was born. Just like that. So what I want you to really consider is how many, black people are the most creative, most brilliant, most capable people on earth. I mean, you can't be more creative than the people who survived slavery, Jim Crow, the Middle Passage, mass incarceration, and every other conspiracy that white folks have put against you to try to kill you in the last 400 years. Like, you can't get more creative than that. We're extraordinary. So whatever creativity they have, I really believe we're up here. I just believe that. Nobody does it. That's why everybody copies off you. Everybody wants to dress like you. You know, I met the CEO, or excuse me, the president of the Air Jordan brand, and basically I got this sense from speaking with the executives that they pretty much look at whatever the 16-year-old black male does, and they all imitate him. They know the whole world imitates the young black male, just like all the women, the Kardashians on down, imitate the young black woman. And, you know, we created hip hop. We're the most creative people in the world. So I want you to kind of reflect on how many brilliant billion-dollar ideas, similar to a Mickey Mouse, come out of the minds of black people, including our children, and we just shove them to the side because we don't value ourselves. I want you to reflect on how many hundreds of billions, maybe trillions of dollars in wealth, in black wealth, has been lost or given away because we did not value our ideas. We did not value our contribution to society. And as you reflect on that, I want you to realize that that's where great brands come from. A great brand ain't nothing but a concept. It's just an idea. That's pretty much what brands are. The Black Business School is an idea. The reason I have my Black Business School flag behind my head every time I talk to you is because I want you to connect with me on that idea so we can go build something great and create our own university that's going to last for the next 300-400 years. That's why the flag is behind my head, if you ever want to know. Powernomics, the book, is behind my back. Why? Well, it's not coincidental. You don't randomly stack books up like that. I do that because I believe in the concept of Powernomics. Powernomics is a brand. There's a trademark on Powernomics. And ultimately, that to me is one of the most important concepts, most important ideas, most important brands in the black community. This random dude on a horse, I don't know who this person is, and I think he's Chinese. But I give zero fucks about that because to me, this represents an idea. The idea is strength. The idea is ready for war. The idea is prepared to lead. The idea is I'm going to take it all the way to the end and fight to the death, whatever it takes in order to be great. That's why I happen to have a man on a horse behind me who looks like a soldier who's ready to whoop ass for anybody that tries to come in and conquer his territory, enslave his children, or take his women. He ain't gonna let that happen, right? So to me, this reflects my perception of who I am as a black man. Not that this is, I know some of y'all gonna give me shit because he's Asian, but it don't matter. I borrow from all cultures. I borrow from anybody that's ever done anything great. I want to hear their story because I want us to remind ourselves of what it means to be great. So just understand that the Ghetto Boys is not Bushwick Bill. The Ghetto Boys is not Willie D. It's not Scarface alone. It's an idea. It's an idea, and it will live forever if those who manage the brand can have the vision to position it where it will last forever. Just like Air Jordan sneakers. A lot of people thought Michael Jordan couldn't sell a shoe after he stopped playing basketball. Michael Jordan sold more shoes after he quit than he did while he was still playing. And if Michael Jordan died tomorrow, God forbid, he would still be selling shoes. Because the idea is not only implanted in the minds of the people, but it has an infrastructure, a productive infrastructure that allows that brand to continue to be fed even long after Michael Jordan is gone. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. There's not much else to say. I know one thing Willie told me is that the group will live on. They will continue to tour. Ghetto Boys forever. That's the hashtag I use because I have a lot of respect for the group. Obviously, what's your favorite Ghetto Boy songs? Tell me what your favorite Ghetto Boy song is. My favorite Ghetto, I think y'all could guess what my favorite is. I think that's so great, because I mean that song literally was probably one of the greatest songs in the history of all the hip hop. And what I love is I see a lot of people saying mind playing tricks on me. Okay. You got to give Jay Prince credit for Jordan's brand, or give Prince. Oh, Prince, the singer Prince. Okay, I don't know what Prince did with that. I thought you were talking about Jay Prince. I'll say, yeah, Jay Prince is, they got a whole history with that, right? And I'm gonna respect that by not speaking on it too much, because I know Willie and I know my part of the story, but I don't know the deep part of the story. So I'm not gonna even, speak specifically about exactly what happened and when and how and why and all that. I'll just say that I respect the group. I respect what they accomplished. I respect Bushwick. I think that the Ghetto Boys were part of hip hop history. I think that they're probably getting studied somewhere at Harvard or Yale or Stanford. They're loved around the world. I remember, I never forget when Willie told me a story about going to Finland and how he'd never been to Finland. And he was talking about he got to Finland and there were these people waiting outside in the cold for 12 hours just to get tickets to see him. And that's a reminder of how hip hop has transcended the world. So Black people, I mean, you're great. Like, you're amazing. The stuff that comes out, the stuff that you just don't even care about, the stuff that you just sort of randomly do, the whole world watches that. The whole world says, oh my God, the whole world marvels at that. Like, we are great people. And I just want us to remember that. So RIP to Bushwick Bill, Ghetto Boys forever. That's the hashtag I use. And you guys have a great day. It was great talking to you. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button before you go. If you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please visit drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. The book is totally free. And last but not least, Willie D is actually going to join us at the All Black National Convention, which is hosted in Houston. I'd invited him probably about 2 months ago, and he's going to be there along with a lot of other great people. I'm going to reach out to Dr. Claude Anderson and ask him to come through as well. So feel free to go to allblacknationalconvention.com to learn more. It's a great event, lots of great networking. If you've gone to the convention, say something so everybody knows how great it is. We are going to sell out, just so you know. I doubt we're going to have any tickets at the door because the venue isn't as big as the numbers in terms of the number of people that came last year. The venue would not hold that many people, right? So when we think it's going to grow this year. So if you want to get your tickets, you may want to get them early. In fact, for the rest of today, which is June 10th, you can actually get half off if you go to allblacknationalconvention.com and use the password June discount, one word, not two, June discount at allblacknationalconvention.com. You can get half off. That's just our sort of a way to honor the early birds and the people that have been coming to the convention every year. I want to make sure you guys get a good deal. So anyway, so take care. And those of you who haven't gone, please go ahead and make your travel arrangements. You're going to love it. It's the weekend of September 27th, by the way. The weekend of September 27th. I only know the one song that Doc was humming. Yeah, a lot of people only know that one song from the Ghetto Boys, and I think that's okay, because you think about it. I mean, people who are not deep Prince fans, like the singer Prince, a lot of them really pretty much knew Purple Rain. Like much of his whole career was defined by Purple Rain. If you take away Purple Rain, I don't really know if Prince would have been nearly the legend that he was. He made that movie and he did that album, and that set it off. And for the next 40 years, 30, how many years, he was a legend, right? I think if you take Purple Rain away from Prince, or if you take Thriller away from Michael Jackson, you see a big dip. It doesn't mean they weren't great all the time, but there were a lot of songs Michael Jackson put out that didn't become hits. There were a lot of songs Prince put out that didn't become hits. So maybe for the Ghetto Boys, it might be the same thing. And then that's what it is. That's what I want to say to you guys. Oh, the discount code is June discount, one word. Somebody type that in, allblacknationalconvention.com, and June discount. Thank you, Dual, for moderating. I appreciate that. June discount, one word though, one word, not two words. But yeah, I mean but that's the thing. That's what you want to really understand as you're building your own brands and building your own businesses. Sometimes you could lose 50 times in a row, but if you get that one hit, then boom, you're gonna end up. I mean, you might go down a legend. Colonel Sanders, who created KFC, was an old man who had never really succeeded in much of anything, but he did one great thing and then he became a legend. I think Abraham Lincoln had gotten his ass kicked in damn near every election, except for the one that mattered, right? And then he got his great moment and he showed up for it, and then he became a legend. Who was another one that I was thinking about? Oh gosh, I had another one in my head and it's gone now. It's gone. But there's so many examples of people who didn't really. Barack Obama, I think, is like that, honestly. Barack Obama ran for a local election in Chicago and got his ass whooped by Bobby Rush. There was nothing, to me, I think, in Obama's life in the year 2000 that would have led you to think that he was going to become the first black or biracial president. There was nothing there. Like the year 2000, Barack Obama, from what I understand, he went to go get a rental car and his credit card got declined. So not only was he unsuccessful, but he was broke as well. You gotta hang in there, man. You gotta keep going because your next great win might be around the motherfucking corner. Excuse my French. I cuss because I'm making my goddamn point. Your next big win might be around the corner. So stop reacting to success. Stop only getting excited when you win and getting depressed when you lose. Keep moving forward whether you win or you lose, because you don't know what's around the corner from you. I've seen it 1,000 times. So somebody was tired, damn near ready to give up, and then they try one little thing, throw some spaghetti at the wall. Next thing you know, boom, they got a big hit. So hang in there, keep on pushing, build your little damn brand, love that little shit, and push that shit as far as you can, because you might be the one who sets it off for your family for the next 5 generations. You just got to stay focused. All right, Ghetto Boys forever. That's the code, or that's the hashtag I've been using. And you guys have a great day. Hit the thumbs up button before you go. I'll talk to you later. Be good. Peace.